Hey, what's crackin', peeps? I'm glad to see you back for episode 5 of our Lionheart map making series, and we are over here at the redstone platform. You can't even call it redstone anymore. The command block platform, which is just a temporary little fix-up that we're doing just so we can work on the redstone, or the command blocks close to the map itself. And I made an awful mistake. So, you know how I have the builder Stuffy? Well, when I sent the map to him, I made a backup of the world, which had all of the command blocks for the temporary introductory cutscene that we made. And anyway, so I made the backup that had all the command blocks for those, and I may have accidentally deleted that backup, and I really feel dumb for doing that. But yeah, so that whole intro cutscene is now gone. And I was never too pleased with the system that I actually made for that whole walking and the animating of the characters to work and everything. So what we have right here is we have two player models, well, two block models. We have Lord Duval standing up, and then we have Lord Duval walking. And so we're going to use these, and we're going to make a new walking mechanism for all the NPCs to be using, and it's going to be using scoreboard commands. And so let me build like the very foundation of this thing, and I'll get back to you guys and show you what it does. You see, I was blind the whole time, and I was never able to realize that block models was not a good way to go about making these custom models, okay? First of all, the rotation of the arms and the rotation of the limbs and everything in the walking animation is so limited. You can only rotate on one axis at a time. So if I want to rotate in the X and the Y, sorry, can't do that, okay? And you can also only rotate at a 30 and a 45 degree angle, and that's why our arm swaying animation is super simple like this, just because we're limited. We can't add a whole bunch of other intricate angles like we would want to. And also with the idle animation, how do you know that this isn't just a block right here? Like, you really don't. It's not swaying. Like, you know how your default Minecraft character, when he's standing there, his arms just sway back and forth, and that's how you can tell, like, oh, look, it's a character. You know, like, he's moving, he's living. And there was no actual way to tell that these people were moving and living. And what if, like, you wanted your character to move its head around, or if you wanted its limbs to move independently? You can never do that with these block models. So Onnowhere came up to me with this really, really cool idea. Okay, and it's amazing, okay? So first of all, we split up all the limbs into head, body, arms, and legs, okay? And doing that, we're able to create something kind of like this. So what we have right here is, if we go into game mode 3, you can actually see that it's one armor stand, okay? But the head is on the head of the armor stand, and the arms are on the arms of the armor stand, okay? Now this is where it gets cool, okay? So if we summon in another one of these, it's another armor stand, except the block that's on the head is now the body, and then the blocks that are on the arms are now the legs, okay? Now doing stuff like this is really cool, because this actually enables us to make an idle animation. So if I do this, let me go ahead and do name equals top. Watch this, okay? The arms are actually going to be idle, and you're going to be able to tell that this block is actually a character and not just a static block. Check that out. Right? Right? And check out us. Right? I love it. I could just stare at this forever, but this is a block model. Like, this is a new living character that we're going to be able to do stuff with, and this is the basis of everything that we're going to be doing. So the walking animation, all animations, we're able to pose every limb individually like you can with the normal player, and this allows us so much more opportunity with the animation style and everything. So it's now a couple hours later, and this has taken me a really long time, but I'm really proud of this, to be honest. So I completely redid Lord Duval to match the voice, to match everything and the emotion that I want you to feel when you see Lord Duval, okay? So what we have right here on the glass is just the Lord Duval character model, okay? So the real basic one. When you look at that, you say, oh, that's Minecraft, you know? Like, that's just your basic character model, low animation rate, low everything. That's Minecraft, okay? And my whole thing about this map is I want it to feel more than Minecraft. I don't want it to be just your average, just, okay, here, read this sign. Alright, this sign says to go find a diamond and bring it back, you know? Like, this is an actual, in-depth, could be a video game adventure map that we're making. Okay, and with that comes more detailed character models. So I posted this on Twitter, and I asked you guys what you thought, and to be honest, it was really mixed opinions, okay? A lot of people were saying like, oh, it looks too detailed, it looks too nice to be in Minecraft. But I don't know, like, I really want to just try my character model right here. This is the new Lord Duval, and no, that's not his nose, or I mean, that's not his mouth right there, that's his nose. Because I also have something really fancy I want to do with his mouth, but his mouth isn't on here yet, so just no mouth. But so this is the Lord Duval that we have right now, and I like him a lot better, to be honest. So he's very animated in the boots, and the belt, and the gloves, and his big puffy arm piece, and his nice hat that he has on. I was really inspired by Lord Farquaad from Shrek. So if you guys know what Lord Farquaad looked like, I tried to recreate him, but I tried to stay true to the Minecraft blockiness at the same time. This is very similar to what they do in Minecraft story mode and everything. So this is pretty much like a story mode character that I remade and put into my own style. So yeah, so this is it. But I want to show you guys something really cool that I've actually done, okay? So I can go around and give all of these guys the idle animation, okay? So if you see, all of their arms are moving and puffing at the same time, okay? And that's very unnatural. Like if I wanted to do a scene where I had multiple characters in the same area, I would have to tolerate all of them having their arms moving at the same time. But what I actually did is I made 3 idle animations. So if I go ahead and I remove the idle one, I'll remove the idle one from here. Then I can go ahead and add idle 2 and add idle 3. You can now see that their arms are moving at different times, and this looks much more natural. And the idea is that the 3 of these, if we ever deal with a scene where there's more than 3 characters, we can actually interlace all of these different animations amongst them, and that gives the illusion that like, oh, all of their arms are moving at the same time. But it's really cool. The clock that I used for this is yet again another thing invented by Onnowhere. This is, I don't know the exact name of it, but it's called a tick clock or something like that. Pretty much the way that it works is instead of like our windmill rotation clock that we had right here, where it was 1 fill clock activating all of these 360 pose commands, instead it's multiple fill clocks, but they're all being executed one by one. So the way that it works is, I don't want to bore you guys too much, but pretty much this turns on, and then this block, and then it turns itself off. But when it turns itself off, it also activates this block, which activates this command block, and then so on and so forth, and this does the poses and everything. But anyways, so the method behind this is really sweet. So it allows 20 ticks per second, just like a normal fill clock, but now it's only 4 command blocks ever activated at one time instead of all of these. So super efficient way of reducing lag, and I'm really happy about it. I don't want to go into too much depth, but these are all of the command blocks. Each one of these layers, so everything from here to here, is all just for one of the idle animations. And it's a lot just because it's a really small animation movement. Like, we're dealing with the hundredths and I think even the thousandths. Like, check this out. Negative 2.64, and then the next one is negative 2.72. Like, we're dealing a lot with the microscopic movements of pose. It's like, out of all 360 degrees, we're only dealing with the hundredths of them. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the idle movement. We have 3 movements now, and it's really cool, and that's the new models. So that's Lord Duval. Tell me what you guys think. Alright, so Lord Duval's face is now complete. And not only is Lord Duval's face complete, but pretty much every other person I want to make either. Because what I ended up doing is I have different mouths that we can actually change. So I added a 3rd armor stand. Its name is Extra, and so this armor stand is going to be able to interpret the mouths on top of its head, and then it's also going to deal with items inside the hands of the entities. So just extra illusion stuff that we're going to be doing. But anyways, so Diamond Hoe 38 is that basic mouth, but then if we go to 39, we have a smaller mouth. If we go to 40, we have a larger one, and then if we go to 41, we have like a smiling one. I think that's it. So, yeah, oh, not 31. No. But anyways, that's not even the best part. The best part right here is this animated mouth, that it looks like it's talking. So Onnowhere actually made all the textures, but what I did was I took his textures and his individual models and I compiled them into one animated model. So now when I put on a Diamond Toe 37, look at that. It looks like he's talking. This is fantastic, complete with the swaying arms and the fact that he's moving. Imagine the opening scene where you can actually see that Lord Duval is speaking to you. It's not just this static entity that's standing still. This is going to give the illusion that it's an actual like game and not just an adventure map, so much more. And so that is that. So I was just working on the walking animation and I kind of came across a problem. So let me go ahead and add the same animation to the bottom. Let me show you what happens. Look how special that looks. So the legs are completely disconnected from the body. They're moving at the same exact time as the arms. I know how to fix the arm portion, but I believe what I have to do with the leg portion is it's because the axis of where the arms are is at the same exact point for both of the armor stands. Like if I go into game mode 3 again, both of these armor stands are both in the same exact spot. So what I'm going to have to do is move the armor stand downwards, or maybe turn it into a small armor stand, and I'll have to resize stuff and replace it, but that's that. So let me go ahead and change like its position and everything, and let me see if it works. Alright, so I've successfully changed all of the normal sized armor stands into the smaller ones. And if you can't tell that I've done that, that's perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. It should look like the exact same thing. All that I had to do is resize some block models and reposition them and everything. But this one bug in particular made it really difficult to actually do that. So if you see, both of these armor stands are holding redstone blocks. One's a normal size and one's a small size stand. And you see how the rotation of the blocks and everything is totally out of whack. Like, both of them aren't the same. You would think that they should be the same, but they're not. So this bug in particular has caused me a lot of difficulty, but it should all be working now, which is really nice. But I have reported this bug. I guess Serge has it on his waiting list. He's just not doing it yet. But so for right now, the system's pretty much all working and everything. I also added it to where there's 3 different walking animations, okay? Let's see. Because, like, look at this. If they all have the same walking animation, if you wanted a whole bunch of entities to be walking, sure, it could work, but it does look very, like, systematic and not as in-depth as I want it to. So, if I go ahead and remove walking 1 from all of these. Yep. Now let's go ahead and add walking 2 and add walking 3. Now we have 3 different walking animations, and it works flawlessly. It's perfect. And this is the whole contraption right here. It's a bit taller, but it's not as big as the last one. It's mainly just because we're doing much larger different pose intervals, so the animation is actually much quicker than the idle animation. That's why we had so many. But yeah, so that's the walking animation. It's perfect. I love it. But aside from all of the custom NPCs and everything, do you hear what's in the background? These ambient sounds, this new sound effect. Listen to this. If we get closer into the enchanted cave, you'll be able to hear it better. You'll also hear some dripping sounds. Possibly. There we go. Yeah, so the enchanted cave has some now ambient sounds. Still waiting on the crystal sounds and everything, so they're going to make a little twinkle sound, and then the pools of poison is also going to make like a little like type of sound. But we're adding custom sounds now to the game, which is really nice. I really like it. The guy that's doing it, his name's Lewis. I'll put a link down to him in the description. He does a lot of really cool music and everything. And just the sound effects that he's been making are really cool. He's also sent me stuff for the Lava Titan, the Geyser sound effects, and the growls and the Earthquake. And so everything that he's doing is really awesome, and I appreciate it a lot. But that's pretty much it for this episode. So if you guys enjoyed, please don't forget to hit that like button. If you want more and have not yet already, go ahead and subscribe. But as always, keep moving forward. Alright, peace.